But we've also got some breaking news right now, so we want to check in with CBS's Mark Strassman. He is in Georgia, where they're having a big problem counting some of the votes. Mark?
I'm standing in Fulton County. Fulton County includes a chunk of Atlanta. Downtown Atlanta is State Farm Arena, where the Atlanta Hawks play. They are tabulating the absentee ballots of Fulton County, Georgia's most populous county. A water pipe has broken inside the arena. They had counted 86,000 absentee ballots. We don't know how many more they have yet to tabulate, but all the tabulation of those ballots has now stopped. We're told by election officials they may not finish tabulating those votes for a day or two.
Joe Hankey is at State Farm Arena. Joe, of all the times for a plumbing issue.
Cheryl, early this morning we told there was a water main break above the room I'm standing in here at State Farm Arena. And right now they are counting the absentee ballots, but earlier today, because of that water main break, they lost about 2 hours of work on the absentee ballot processing. So they are trying to make up that time now. They currently are getting through the absentee ballots, all the ballots being processed behind me.
So depending how close the rest of the state is, we may not know the result of this critical battleground state for another day or two. That is because, again, a water pipe has broken in State Farm Arena. State Farm Arena is where they were counting the absentee ballots of Georgia's most populous county. And now that tabulation has stopped. Whoa. Big development here.
But, Mark, do you know how many ballots we're talking about? What that means?
We don't know. We've asked that question, and what they are telling us is that it's going to take a day or two, which suggests to me that they have a lot to go.
Joe Biden has finally taken the lead in Georgia. If that lead persists and he doesn't lose it to Donald Trump, and there's actually no suggestion that he would, that means that Donald Trump has no way of winning this presidential election.
There was a leak of the floor above where we were counting ballots at State Farm Arena. According to Steve Koonin, CEO of the Atlanta Hawks, that occurred at 6:07 a.m. I forget the exact date. By 8:07 a.m., it was.
That was the day of the election?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was repaired within 2 hours. No ballots were damaged. No equipment was damaged. End of story. So how this has gotten to be what it is, I have no idea.
Were there people in there working at that time when the leak was discovered?
I was not there, but presumably there were people there. There was a leak of the floor above where we were counting ballots, Floor above where we were counting ballots.
Were there people in there working at that time when the leak was discovered?
I was not there, but presumably there were people there because we started at probably 7 o'clock, I believe. I'm sure that some people were there.
Were they in the room? Were they asked to leave, and was the room secured? Tell us how that was handled.
Now, I was not there, so I cannot answer that question.
Okay.
In your position, please.
So I'm Jackie Pick, and I'm here as a volunteer. I am a lawyer, but I'm not acting as a lawyer in this case. I'm just helping out the legal team here. And going to explain to you the evidence that we have from State Farm Arena here in Fulton County, which goes to what Ray was talking about in terms of fraud or misrepresentation. So according to their affidavits, at about 10 o'clock, there was one person working the polls who told everyone in the room to leave on the basis they were going to stop counting. So we're at about 10 o'clock. And what you'll notice is that the workers are present, working, and you have, back in that corner I pointed out to you, the press and the Republican observers. So according to the witnesses, the Republican observers, there is a lady who has blonde braids who comes out to announce we're going to stop counting. Everyone go home. And in fact, we see that. What happens is everyone clears out, including the Republican observers and the press, but 4 people stay behind and continue counting and tabulating well into the night from that point, which is going to be about 10:25 when they all clear out, or 10:30. And they will continue counting unobserved, unsupervised, not in public view as your statute requires. So here you see it's all cleared out. We just went from 10:25 to 10:37. The place is a ghost town. This is where the people were vacated and told, go home, come back at 8:30. We will now stop working and stop counting. So what you're going to see, look at the ladies in yellow. You'll see that they will begin just sitting still, doing nothing, ostensibly not working, because after all, they said they're going to stop counting. They will wait until the witnesses over there in that roped off area, the press and the observers, leave the room. Then you'll see them move into action and begin scanning ballots. At about 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to roll this back and show it to you. There you go. So now they're going to start pulling these ballots out from under this table. This table, the black one, was placed there by the lady with the blonde braids at about 8:22 a.m. in the morning. So she put that table there. So the same person who's staying behind now, the same person who cleared the place out under the pretense that we're going to stop counting, is the person who put the table there at 8:22 in the morning. Yeah, I saw 4 suitcases come out from underneath the table. Yeah, upper right hand, you see the gentleman in the red. So he just pulled one out. So what are these ballots doing there, separate from all the other ballots? And why are they only counting them whenever the place is cleared out with no witnesses?
Fulton County Chairman Rob Pitts testified in a committee earlier, and that the water main break did not disrupt the work of the whole room, that he did state that the leak was greatly exaggerated and that it was not like wiped out the whole place. But
And right now they are counting the absentee ballots, but earlier today, because of that water main break, they lost about 2 hours of work on the absentee ballot processing.
But John Dickerson, I love your knowledge of history. Have you ever heard of votes being delayed because a pipe burst?
No.
You wrote the book.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure there's an intersection between plumbing and history.
I know, but it's so funny because here we were thinking about foreign interference.
Exactly.
You know, this was going to take down a vote, and now it's just
voter intimidation.
That wasn't on the model of
it wasn't
interference.
And it's just.
I'm told that we have a video that it was a toilet leak and not a water main break. But I know that Mr. Pitt's name was mentioned in one of our affidavits, and our witness says that he was physically present in this room clear up until everyone was made to leave. So presumably, if he was in the room at the time, they made the announcement he would be a witness to that. He was one of the last to leave, but he did leave in front of our witnesses.
Thank you for being with us. We heard from the Secretary of State's office earlier, just a couple hours ago, that they've investigated this repeatedly, that they had a monitor on site the entire time. And frankly, this has been debunked for weeks by our Secretary of State's office.
I doubt he's seen the video.
Evidence, then I think the courts will probably be able to handle this once you present your evidence to them. As I'm aware, there have been about 40 lawsuits dismissed already.
You see that? That's a stupid bitch.
Is there a question?
Senator, we'll ask questions. We'll have a time for statements at the conclusion.
Yeah, my question is, since this has been debunked repeatedly, what evidence can you give to us that counters what our elections officials have presented us with only an hour ago?
You just saw it. Your officials need to watch the video.
What about the fact that they say that they had a monitor there the entire time?
I can't speak for them.
Well, thank you.
Maybe a question for Senator Parent. I heard you say several times this has been debunked, but I also just heard that this video just appeared last night. So how could it have been debunked?
Well, my response, not being an expert, is that these very allegations came up right away after the election, almost a month ago, and have been repeatedly discussed by the Secretary of State's office, including everything that we're seeing here.
But is this
and
not
there have been explanations for all of it.
Is this not the first time this video has been shown?
I believe that this is the first time this video has been seen.
And
It is.
And
That's
the news
correct.
media hasn't seen this video or have not?
They have
put it
not.
out? They have not.
Because I've been in contact with counsel for the State Farm Arena, and
will be today.
Okay, Senator.
We have footage like this, the Dominion system, which is very, very complicated and expensive. There are a lot of reasons why places like Texas said, this is not for us. Good Republicans on Capitol Hill are taking notice, and they're calling for action.
For about the last 4 years, we said, you said, this town said that the Russians helped Donald Trump win the election and they hacked it and so on and so forth, with no evidence whatsoever. Now, sitting under a mountain of evidence, no one wants to take a look. Nobody can be bothered. Ladies and gentlemen, this is urgent. We can't wait for a year for Durham or the Attorney General to get to the answer. The American people need to know right now. We have an election in Georgia next month. We need to know right now whether we can trust it. We call on the Attorney General to get in there, do a forensic audit, find the evidence, and let us know if this has been a fair election.